Your boy Derrick James, man, he ain't it, man. He ain't it. That's it. We're out. He ain't it, David. He ain't it, dog. It's Ryan. It's Ryan's fault too. I do agree with you there. Didn't want to say it loud.
Putazos y Pendejadas Podcast.
Welcome back to PYP Boxing. We are here going over last week's news and boxing events. David, what did you think of Ryan Garcia? What did you think? How did he look to you? In my opinion, he didn't look too good. He got the knockout. Didn't look like he really had a plan. He got surprised out there with this guy and started doing his Mayweather, his best Mayweather. Then we had the back turn, and him and Derrick James didn't really seemed like they were on the same page, but his talent got him through this. He's a really, really good talent. I feel like his talent is being wasted, though. He's better than he's looked the last two fights. I mean, you'll agree with me. He's a hell of a talent. But guys like Derrick James are just making him look bad. I mean, I don't think they had a game plan. It's obvious to me they didn't have a game plan when he just popped up with the Mayweather deal there. Spence didn't look good. Charlo doesn't look good. He was in two of the biggest fights in history, and he gave us zeros. Frank Martin, what's happening with that guy? AJ, he didn't look good. He's not even with AJ at his fight. Guys like Robert Garcia will come out to his fighters like Luis Correa, who's 15-5. He'll show up to that dude's fight at least that day, go out and go to his next fight, just like he did this weekend. Now, I'm not bagging on Luis Correa and saying that he's not a really good fighter or anything like that, but he's 15-5, and if big stars, big boxing trainers like Robert Garcia can make that extra effort and go with his fighter, maybe Derrick should too. I don't think Derrick did well with Ryan. I don't think Ryan is doing well with Derrick. Ryan needs somebody else to bring that talent out of him. He didn't look good at all, David. Do you think he looked good?
Absolutely not. I didn't think he looked good at all.
He got the knockout.
But I don't think he looked good getting it. I think he snuck one in, and he has the eraser, right? You can make all kind of mistakes on the test, but when you got that eraser, it fixes everything that happened before, right? But there's a lot to unpack in what you just said, man. Number one, you can't fix everything that's wrong with a fighter in one training camp. That's just not realistic, right? Number two, the reason why he's not with AJ at the moment is because AJ has this last minute fight that came up in Saudi Arabia where he's fighting Otto Wallin. Ryan Garcia's fight was already set for December. AJ's training out in the UK because it makes sense. He's closer to Saudi Arabia in the UK than he is in Texas. So he can't train with Derrick James right now because Derrick James is with Ryan Garcia. That's why they're not together. So I think you're trying to look for stuff that's not there. I wouldn't put all the blame of how Ryan looked on Derrick James, all right? Ryan has a history of going off script. He's done it before in other fights where he's doing shit he's not supposed to do, and it comes out in the fight. It happened in Tank's. The most recent example I can think of, or the most high-profile one, is versus Tank. The game plan, per Joe Goosen, was fighting the way he fought in the first round. Behind the jab, keeping your arms up, staying at range, not rushing in on Davis. In between rounds after the first round, you can hear Joe Goosen say, Ryan, perfect round. Keep it up. This is the game plan. What does Ryan do in the very next round? He blitzes Tank and starts running at him with wild shots. Again, going off script, not following the plan, okay? I think this is something that we're seeing a trend with Ryan. When he's under duress, he loses focus and he doesn't stick to a game plan. I don't know what the game plan was for Derrick James. I'm pretty sure there was one. You don't get to a trainer at his level if you don't know how to game plan for your fighters. They knew who they were in the ring against. They knew how this guy fights. They don't have to watch tape on him. It's already known. You just ask people in boxing, how does Oscar Duarte fight? He comes at you. He's very heavy on the front foot, likes to throw the left hook, strong as a bull. They knew what they were in against. Overall, man, I agree with you on the point. Ryan's a talented kid. I just think it's going to take more than one training camp to kind of put Humpty Dumpty back together again. And I think Oscar De La Hoya said it perfectly. He gave everybody the blueprint of what's going to happen going forward. They need to go back to the drawing board and think about how to match Ryan up in the future. They're not going to go for any crazy big fights next. Teofimo Lopez, forget about that. That's not happening. They're probably looking at a Rolly Romero type bout. They need to match him up carefully. Give James a couple of camps more with Ryan. I think you are onto something about their communication or they're not gelling 100%, right? I think that's something that just has to keep continuing to build, man. Chemistry, it takes time to build. I do want to give the Derrick James and Ryan Garcia union more time and see what comes of it. But I definitely see this happening. Oscar pretty much knows they can't just go making big fights now with Ryan. They got to match him up carefully in the future.
Yeah, no, I'm not a believer in Derrick James anymore. After Spence this year, Charlo this year, nobody knows what Frank Martin's doing. AJ didn't look good.
I know, but you're blaming.
I'm not blaming.
You just said it. You just said it. So and so didn't look good. So and so didn't look good.
He seems to be the culprit in all these fights. Spence, Charlo, AJ, man. Derrick. I don't know about Derrick, man. I lost Derrick. Derrick, I don't believe him anymore.
Fair enough, but I think you should give it more time, because expecting a trainer to fix everything that's wrong with a fighter in one training camp, that's not realistic, dude. And Ryan was in tough. He was in tough. He was in with a dangerous fighter. So it wasn't like he had a chance to try some new things with a journeyman that he's expected to blow out.
All right, I'm going to give him one more shot. I mean, he went over a few this year. I'm going to give him one more shot. But he's hanging on by a thread with me. He's hanging on.
Yeah, Mark. I think he's really worried about that, Mark. He's really concerned about that, buddy.
Vance, he fucking rants.
Yeah, no, you got him nervous. You got him nervous, Mark. You got him nervous. He's right there on the edge of losing it.
Of my criticism. I don't know about Derrick, man. What he did to Spence, man.
He did have a rough. You know what, bro? You're 100% right. He had an awful 2023. Terrible.
Wow, man. Nobody was prepared. On a brighter note, David, I have been hearing for a few days now that Amazon has PBC's library, and people are going in on there and having fun, watching all the Chino Maidana fights and the Floyd fights and the Guerreros and all the good stuff from the early. You're part of this century. Everybody's watching it, having fun already. Is the deal done? What's going to happen? Have you heard of anything, David?
Yeah, I heard the announcement like everybody else did. I actually checked Amazon Prime to see if I could see any fights. I didn't have any access to it, so I still got to figure out how that works. I know I'm a Prime member. That said, man, PBC on Prime, a lot of people are touting this like it's a big deal. And I mean, it kind of is, right? Anytime you have boxing available on a new platform, it is a big deal. But I still feel like there are a lot of questions that remain. We know that there's a rights agreement set for multiple years. So what you're saying about their fights being available on Prime Video, that makes sense, that they have the rights to show their fights. But from my understanding, Mark, this is really just a pay-per-view agreement where Amazon Prime will distribute the pay-per-views for PBC. So what does that mean? And I know this is your favorite topic, more pay-per-views. They don't get a budget. They're not broadcasting any mid-level, medium type event type fights. So I still kind of want to wait and see what's going to come up, because the details are kind of sketchy on it. But so far, we do know this: no fights have been announced. We're just kind of waiting until 2024 to see what comes of it.
David, Charlo is back in the mix, man. His redemption story continues. Caleb Plant's calling him out. Benavidez is talking about possibly fighting him. He's in the mix. I'm sure others want to fight him. I'm happy this is happening. What do you think about Caleb Plant calling him out? Benavidez. I mean, it looks like a total turnaround for Charlo. It looks like he's going to have a successful 2024 financially for his family, getting back in there, working, doing what he loves. People are calling him out.
Yeah, if he wants a big money fight, one of these two should do it. However, I think if they're looking at long term, like the longevity wise, like setting him up for a really, really big fight, I think they should avoid any of these guys. I think Plant beats him right now. I think Benavidez would beat him right now. So if you want to avoid a huge setback with Jermall, you avoid these two guys, get him some more fights on the Benavidez junior level like he just had, get him some more rounds, because I feel like, bro, Jermall is still on the fragile end of his recovery. It could go south real easily. And I don't think he needs to be put in any high pressure situations right now. Just get back in the mix, get comfortable. I don't think he was 100% back against Benavidez Jr. We already talked about that in the last show. I think they just need to be careful about matching him up right now. But like you said, man, it's hard to turn down a big money fight like a fight with Plant or Benavidez.
And where does that leave Crawford, man? Crawford, I mean, what's he waiting for? He's 37 years old already. First of all, let me say something, man. The guy's getting kind of Hollywood on us. He's big time in YouTubers and interviewers. He's kind of acting a little bit arrogant. You know, he said he doesn't want a Charlo. He's already said he doesn't want a Boots. I mean, where is he going? He's pretty much like left himself out of the party, saying he doesn't want Charlo, he doesn't want Boots. I mean, where's this going to leave him? Everybody else has got a dancing partner. He doesn't yet. Nobody seems to be calling him out. Maybe Boots, but he's made it clear he doesn't want Boots. What the heck is he doing?
I think it's pretty clear, man. He can't do anything until he takes care of this Spence rematch. That's been
just come out and say it.
Well, he's already said it. Let me take care of this Spence rematch at 154, and then we can move on. He's already said multiple times the fight he really wants is Canelo Alvarez. He's changed his mind on Jermall. He said he'll reconsider a Jermall fight. Before, he was kind of done with Jermall after the egg he laid against Canelo. But now he's like, yeah, I might consider fighting Jermall again. I mean, what the hell? Jermall still has two belts at 154. That's still a fight where you can win some belts at 154 pounds. So Jermall's still in the mix. Canelo's still in the mix. But as far as I know right now, what needs to happen next is the Spence rematch first.
I mean, I think he tried to weasel his way out of that one as well with the 147 thing and whatever.
I don't blame him.
Probably, yeah. I don't think he wants to hit that guy again. But I think the guy's getting a little Hollywood on us too, man. I really do.
What do you mean? What is this Hollywood shit? Is he wearing sunglasses indoors? What is he doing?
Just kind of being arrogant with his interviewers. How about Friday when they were doing the event for his basketball charity event that he had on Saturday night, where he was supposed to make a big announcement, right? The girl says, "Hey, let's get some clarity to your situation. Who are you going to fight next? Why are you asking me?" He says, "Hey, you'll hear about it. I'm going to make an announcement later. When I know, you'll know." What is all that?
Okay, Mark. So first of all, I don't know how many Terrence Crawford interviews you've seen in the past. The dude is always like that. He's not a good interview, generally. Low energy sometimes.
Very low energy.
Very, very dismissive of questions.
Very dismissive.
So that's what I'm saying. This is nothing new.
Well, there wasn't a lot of interviews out on him like there are now.
No. I'm saying, yes, there were.
I'm seeing him now more. So now I'm getting his. I thought he was more humble than that, man.
No, he's always been the same. He's always been this way, bro. He's always been this way. I counter your point. Crawford actually lightened up a little bit since he got this big win over Spence. So yeah. I think he's gotten a little bit more friendly than he used to be. He used to be worse.
I never really kept up with him before. A lot of people didn't, right?
No, I mean, I
knew who he was. I followed his fights, but I didn't ever want to say, "Hey, I'm going to go look at a Crawford interview." I enjoyed watching him, and I was a fan. But
Right. No, I was, me, bro. I watched everything when I
yeah,
can.
I just
So
didn't know he was that much of a Holly. Like, this guy thinks.
nah, man, it's not. That's him. That's how he always been.
I
Crawford
bet
hasn't changed, bro. If there's anything, Crawford hasn't. His head didn't get big with it. He's the same that he's
there's
always.
some dudes that do an arrogant deal in a lovable way, like Shakur Stevens. But this guy has kind of an asshole way about it. Like Shakur's funny with it,
But, nah, man, that's the way Bud. That's Bud, bro. That's Bud.
Wow. Wow. Well, I don't
He's a
know,
good
man.
dude, man. He's a good dude.
David Regis, Prograis-Haney, Saturday night, man. And also on the undercard, Jay Panda versus Joel Diaz. I say it like that
Well,
because
yeah, let's get the fighters that are actually
but
fighting.
yeah, it's Chacal against MJ. We went over this one, man. I know your prediction after seeing everything. Have you seen the all accesses that they've done for this fight? It's pretty good. I call them all accesses or 24/7s. That's usually what everybody calls them.
Yeah, but
Everybody
it's like
has theirs.
the training camp is what it is.
I
Named
like
something
it.
like
I
that.
like it. I've seen
It's
it. I
good.
like it. There's a lot of tough talk. There's a lot of, back and forth. Has there been anything that you've seen that changed your mind about the fight?
Just look, I've always had Regis winning big against Haney, but the Zorrilla fight, I gotta admit, that made me a little hesitant, right? But then also learning that Regis has been in camp since August, bro. That's August, September, October, November. That's a 3-month camp, 12 weeks. Dude's 34 years old, man. I don't know. I get it. His trainer, Julian Chua, smart guy. He's got people that know what they're doing, but I just question. I hope that they've tapered his training. They went hard, rest, went back hard, rest. I hope that they did something and didn't just go hard for 12 weeks. Because when you hear Regis talk, he's like, man, I've been in camp for a long time. I've never trained this hard before. It's like, damn. I hope that he's not overtrained for this bout. And then, did you ever see that video, Mark, where Regis is trying to make weight? I think it was for the Zorrilla fight. And he's in the bathtub and he looks like he's going to faint. Have you ever seen that video?
Yeah.
That one scared me too, because for a long time I heard him say, I make weight a lot easier now. I don't struggle to make 140. I have a nutritionist and a chef and they prepare food.
Yeah.
Remember, he's been saying that. Then why the hell is he over here sweating it out in a bathtub trying to make weight on the verge of passing out? I mean, dude, that worried me a lot. I had never known that he struggled that hard to make weight. So the combination of those things together make me a little bit cautious. I'm still going with Regis to win this, though. I just think Haney struggles with southpaws. Regis is the strongest puncher he's ever faced. Regis goes to the body. He maintains his power later in the fight. I'm still with Regis, bro.
Yeah, I never even really got to break it down myself. I was asking you guys and the boxers the questions and
Yeah,
stuff.
I was wondering about that.
I'm just gonna go ahead and steal my good friend Shane Mosley's breakdown. Regis Prograis is good. Haney's good. Haney's gonna take it if he kind of just boxes him, stays on the outside smart, keeps the jab out, boxes him and stays away. The only way Regis can beat him is if he somehow finds a way to trap him and lay something. That's it. He's going to have to trap him somehow, cut off the ring, and come up with a plan to trap him. And he's got damn good trainers that understand this and probably will come up with a few plans to trap him over at the Main Street Boxing Gym. So, he's saying, Shane, that is he's going to come in with 3 or 4 different strategies to try to catch him in a trap and bang him and end the night. That is the only way Regis can win this fight. Saying that, I'm sticking with Haney. I still think Haney is the best of everybody from 135 to 147.
Wow. Even over Matias? Even over Teofimo? Oh, you didn't like Teofimo's fight with Josh Taylor. I remember
Nobody can beat Haney right now.
I did. Ooh, I disagree, bro. But okay, all right. I see you.
Anybody that starts their career en la arena del Perro Salao is a monster.
You know why he did that, right? He did that to build his record up. That's why he did that. And he wanted to fight at a young age. He wanted to become a pro fighter before the age of 18. And he wanted to build his record up.
In Tijuana.
That's why he did that. I'm just letting you know. That's why he did that. You know, that's where he got most of his KOs too, right? Yeah, real fucking tough.
But he fought really, really good talent. In one of the fights, a lot of people said he lost, and some bullshit happened down there in Tijuana, and he took the fight.
No, he paid him off to. That's the rumor. I don't know.
But he was in tough, and that arena, El Perro Salao, La Arena del Perro Salao, that is where, I mean, killers come from, dude. Killers. He didn't just fight in Tijuana; he fought in that arena.
All right, I think you're overblowing it a lot. Let's calm down a little bit on that.
Margarito.
Okay, still, yeah, he didn't fight Margarito, bro. He didn't fight
That's
that.
An arena
right?
of legends.
Like, calm down.
Right there are monsters, straight dogs.
Yeah, but he didn't fight any level of those fighters that you just mentioned. Is the point?
But
no one should expect him to when he's starting his career.
He's a straight dog. A dog. There's guys, right?
No. Haney's. You know what, man?
Then there's dudes. There's dudes.
Mark. What people don't give credit to Haney, or a lot of credit to Haney for, except for you, obviously, is that he is a tough guy. He'll fight. He'll fight you.
Clipped at the end. He's gonna get clipped at the end, and he's gonna get hurt, but he's gonna walk right through it. And he's a dog. He comes right through it. We all know he's gonna get clipped.
I don't think he'll walk through Regis.
He always gets clipped. He walked through Lomachenko. He walked through freaking Linares. He gets clipped, and he's a dog. He comes back. I like Haney. Anyway, that is our show. Hey, we are doing great with the subscribers. Please keep commenting. Hit those likes. A lot of you have been giving us really great comments and continue to do so.
Yeah, keep making fun of Mark.
Your boy Derrick James, man. He ain't it, man. He ain't it. That's it. We're out. He ain't it, David. He ain't it, dog.
So now we're not out because you're not getting the last word.
You wanted to crown him, man. You wanted to crown him.
But I respect his boxing knowledge. I think he's a good coach. I think he's a good coach, man. I don't think he sucks. He obviously doesn't suck because he has 2 unified champs in his roster. So,
Derrick, I'm sorry, Derrick. It's just
journalism. All you want. You can say that all you want, bro.
I'm sorry, Derrick.
Trainer of the year.
Journalism, homie. It's just journalism. Sorry, Derrick. Jesus. Right here, Derrick. It's all right here. It's Ryan. It's Ryan's fault too. I do agree with you there. Didn't want to say it loud.
Putazos y Pendejadas Podcast.